Hello, viewers. Today we are going to discuss the topic of agricultural marketing law in India. I have dealt with this topic in two parts. In the first part, we shall see that what is the significance of agricultural marketing, what is the meaning of agricultural marketing, and the different definitions given to the term agricultural marketing. We shall learn the importance of it, its scope, its canvas, and we shall also look at the different kinds of agricultural marketing practices prevalent in India. What is the significance to study it? What are the problem areas? And why do we need regulations, legislations in the area of agricultural marketing in India? So let us begin with the meaning of the term agricultural marketing. So if we look at the definition of agricultural marketing, which is given by the National Committee on Agriculture, it is defined in these words that agricultural marketing is a process of flow of agricultural and farming produces produced through the use of natural resources for the welfare of people. It includes all such activities of primary production related to the agricultural or farming produces, which includes activities such as the growing of crops, the raising of crops, cultivation of crops, harvesting, management of livestock. So, in this way, we come to know that there are various operations which are covered within the agricultural marketing. The famous agricultural scientist Thomson also commented, and he had defined the term agricultural marketing from the angle of a study. And according to him, agricultural marketing is the study which includes various operations. And these operations are related to the agricultural production. And it involves the conducting of all the different kind of agencies which are involved in the movement of the farm produce goods, the method through which the production reaches the final consumers, the effect of these operations on farmers, the role of middlemen, the role of agents, and the territory covers everyone who is concerned with the agricultural operations. Thus, we may say that agricultural marketing plays a very, very important role in the overall growth of the nation, in the development of farming, and it is also very important for increasing the agricultural outputs, and it is essential for the rural development of India also. If we look at the functions of agricultural marketing, we can say that agricultural marketing is to provide critical opportunities for the development of agriculture. It includes the facilitation of the production of agricultural produce and the exchange of that produce, inputs, outputs management also, and the different means and ways for the development of the agricultural policies and the benefit which is to be given to the farmers as well as to the consumers. It is a lot dependent upon the studies related to agricultural marketing, and the overall development of the farming sector cannot go in isolation without taking care of the aspect of agricultural marketing. Now, if you look at some other explanations which are given, one explanation is that which is given by the National Commission on Agriculture. The National Commission on Agriculture had defined agricultural marketing as a process. And this process starts with the decision to produce a particular sellable farm commodity, that which crop is to be sown in the farmland. And then it is involving all the aspects of the market structure of system, the different functional aspects. The different kinds of institutional aspects are also involved in that. So agricultural marketing takes care of the technical considerations. Agricultural marketing takes care of the institutional considerations also, and it takes care of the economic considerations also. So, what are the pre harvest operations? What are the post harvest operations? The grading of the farming produce, its storage, its transportation, its distribution, all the things which are equally important. So, the agricultural marketing is involving the management and regulation of all of these different kinds of processes. Now, let us discuss about the traditional agricultural marketing processes which are present in India. So, if we look at the traditional aspects, we find that there are various kinds of markets which are commonly known in India. For example, the rural hearts. The hearts are usually the markets which are covering a couple of villages, and they are held in periodic manner. The people who are wholesalers are there, and there are different kinds of brokers in the heart, and they used to visit the heart from time to time, and they used to purchase the commodities from the farmers, and through intermediaries, those commodities are sold to the actual consumers. Similarly, there are mandis. Even presently, there are certain markets which are commonly known as mandis. Mandi is basically a kind of hut or market at a larger scale. It is a wholesale market which covers couple of villages or localities, or even more than one towns could be covered in a mandi. So these mandis are generally located in the bigger cities, and the businessmen who are functional there, they are sometimes called in the local language as ardhatiyas, and they buy the things. These are the large wholesalers. These people, they buy the things from the farmers, okay, and then through intermediaries they supply these commodities to the buyers. So the regulation of huts and mandis is very, very important to regulate the costs, to give educate money of the labor to the farmers, to protect them from exploitation, and to provide good quality farming produce to the consumers. Apart from that, the concept of cooperative marketing also was present, and it is also existing in some areas. Now, there are other wider classifications of agricultural markets in India, and the classification of agricultural market is done on various parameters. For instance, the geographical features also determine the classification. The degree of competition also determine the classification. For example, location also determines, as we have just discussed, that there are village markets and there are urban markets. There are primary markets, there are secondary markets, there are terminal markets also. On the basis of degree of competition, we may say that there can be perfect markets, there can be imperfect markets also. Okay. Then, with regard to the geographical explanations, we may say that there can be local markets, there can be regional markets, there can be national markets, and in present era we also talk about international markets, and e-marketing is going on there. That is a specific variety in itself. So, in this manner, there are different kinds and classifications of market. On the basis of transactions which are undertaken in the markets, we call them either wholesale markets or retail markets. So, the regulation is very, very important regarding these markets. Look into the different classification. The picture is becoming more and more clear that they are doing big deal of work. Lots of interests of the people, rights of the people, consumers, farmers is involved, and it is a complicated process which is involved in agricultural marketing. Now, why is the regulation of agricultural marketing important? That is also one thing which we must discuss. Now, the regulation is important to achieve the preamble or objectives of social justice to prevent the farmers from exploitation, for fair competition, for safeguarding the rights of the consumers, and now because of the scientific and technological development, the farmers are able to meet their needs. And surplus production is taking place. So, for the purpose of proper management of the surplus production, which is resulted out of the advancement of the agricultural practices. For that, we need proper agricultural marketing so that the surplus produce could be adequately handled, it could be appropriately stored. Some commodities, agricultural produce are fastly perishable. Some kind of agricultural produce is of that nature that it is not speedily perishable. So, how and where it should be stored, how should it be transported? These things are necessary to prevent the loss and deterioration of the produce of the farming. Now, apart from that, there are a number of agro-based industries which are growing. Um, the processing of the agricultural produce is taking place there. So these agro-based industries, they produce different variety of things which are also to be marketed adequately and appropriately. And only after the management of these things, only after the regulation of this, the better standard of living can be secured for the farmers, and the right to food of the people could be safeguarded, and economically and socially the advancement can take place if the agricultural marketing is handled appropriately and efficiently. If the marketing mechanisms get developed adequately, then it will also result in the improvement of overall national income. And there are so many problem areas in this sphere. Various challenges are there, which are for the first time formally identified by the Royal Commission on Agricultural Marketing. So, this Royal Commission on Agricultural Marketing was established in the year 1928, and they had pointed out at various shortcomings in the system of agricultural marketing, which is leading to various injustices and exploitations in the society, thus resulting into financial economic losses. The farmers were not having adequate mechanisms and tools. This is one thing. The proper methodology for agricultural production was not there. The infrastructure of the agricultural sector was also not adequately developed, and there was no appropriate place or market to sell the farm produce. So, efficiency is lacking in these all spheres, which are leading to different kinds of losses. And the farmers used to rely on the middlemen for different kind of operations which are engaged in the farming sector. And because of this, the middlemen used to exploit them to a great extent. And another thing is that there is seasonality in the agricultural sales. The production is also dependent upon monsoon. It was found to be seasonal, and the demand which took take place at the end of the buyers also depend upon the different kind of seasons. So this is one main reason why we needed regulation to safeguard the interest of the farmers. And the infrastructure is also not equally distributed across India. So because of that, different kinds of regulations were needed. And even apart from that, there are various post harvesting things which are done by the farmers. The problem to sale, immediate sale, some produce, multiplicity of market charges, differentiation of market charges is there, and various malpractices are existing in the system. The proper storage of the goods also could not happen, the proper transportation could not happen, update information is not available to the farmers, and before the sale the agricultural goods are to be priced appropriately. That system also was not present, so regulations are required to decide the standard of the agricultural produce, to grade it, and then on the basis of that to assess the quality and then fix the price. So there are various things which are there as challenges in the area of agricultural marketing for which we need regulation in this particular field. So we have in this discourse observed that what is the meaning of agricultural marketing. We also have seen that why is the study of agricultural marketing important to us. And we have also seen this thing that the regulation is required in the area of agricultural marketing. In the next lecture, we shall look at the other dimensions. Thank you so much.